All right, so this is it. The last week of the year, 2021. So where's the stock market moving? Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Foxtel Digital coming to you again with Black Girl Stocks. And this is another segment of our top 3 option plays this week, where we're just gonna go over a few different trades, stock fundamentals, and different strategies that you can do to make it through, okay? Now, we didn't post yesterday on Sunday because coming back from the Christmas holiday, I really just wanted to see how the stock market reacted. With that being said, let's get into some things. But first, if this is your first time watching this video, please make sure that you click that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. Also subscribe and click that notification bell so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video for you guys. All right, so a quick recap of last week's plays. So I just want to say none of last week's plays were very profitable. We were bearish on a lot of the trades, and you know, it definitely just was very bullish last week. It looks like we're definitely getting a dose of that Santa Claus rally in these last couple of trading weeks. But yeah, so the first stock is BGS, and we were bullish on this starting around $31.20, really based on the stock breaking out of this downtrend that it was in after its last earnings report. So the stock dropped a majority of Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, and then it did kind of start to move back up Thursday and into Monday, where we are right now, closing at $31.22 on Thursday. The actual option contract that we were looking at was the January 21st $30 call. When we were looking at it, the premium was $1.40 last week, and right now, same option contract is now worth about $1.55. So it did gain a little bit of value. You can see that, you know, with the movement from this week moving back up, we definitely had a little bit of value with that. So if you guys were holding on to that, I don't know if you held it on through last week with its dips, but right now it's definitely looking on the profitable side, and it looks to continue to move upwards. So that's that on that. Okay, and next up was EPR. And when we were looking at this, we were starting around $44.78. Now this one I was obviously bearish on because of this strong downtrending pattern that you see right here. So similar to the last stock with this pattern, you kind of see how it's broken above the 50-day moving average, and this has just been within the last few trading days. So really, you know, I just didn't think it may not have been the best time to get into that, to see if it continues in that trend where it would break this trend and move downward. So the actual option contract that we were looking into for EPR, $45 put, and when we were looking at it, it was around $2, and right now that same option is around 80. So this definitely lost a lot of value with this one. This one was not a profitable trade, and it doesn't look like it's, you know, moving into a profitable direction, and we were bearish on it. But I really just want to see what happens. Is it going to continue breaking out of that? I wouldn't be bullish on this until it crossed above 48. Like I said, I want to see, is it going to continue moving up, or is it going to continue in that, you know, that pattern that it's been in and move downward? So that's kind of what we were anticipating. It just might not have been the best time for it. Okay, and lastly was Apple. Now we've been trading Apple for the most of this month in December, going off of this, you know, really strong uptrending pattern. You know, we've been trading the highs and the lows, calls and puts on this. So last week I was bearish on this. Was not the best move, okay, because as you'll see, Apple has just been moving up and up and up. So when we were starting this, it was trading around 171.14. I was bearish on it because of it trading so close to the 50-day moving average, but it continued to cross above that. It'd be interesting to see if it crosses above this resistance. Yeah, so that's pretty much that for last week's plays. So let's get into this week's plays. I really want to make this quick and short and sweet. All right, and first up is ZNGA, okay? And right now it's trading at $6.42. Now on this particular stock, I'm still into the patterns, and we talked about this a few top 3 options ago, and we were bearish on it then. So one thing I kind of like about it is it's kind of had this uptrending pattern here. We're having lower highs and higher lows, so it looks like it could be forming a possible breakout. And a lot of people say, okay, well, what direction is it going to break out? And a lot of times it'll break out in the overall trend direction that it's been in. So, you know, there's a possibility with this breakout, it could, boom, break out lower. So that's why I'm going to be bearish on ZNGA. I've been bearish on it for a while. You'll see it's trading above the 50-day moving average, but still below the 200. Is it going to have a breakout, you know, below, or is it going to continue this little short uptrend that it's been in? I wouldn't be bullish on it until it crossed above $8. That's a couple of, you know, about $1.50 away. But as far as getting into a bearish position, right now at 642, I would really want to have my entry set around 635. And to me, if it just kind of started to drop down to that point, point. Very bearish today on Monday. If it continues in that trend, then I would just consider it a continuation of that overall trend downward. Like I said, the option implied volatility is not too high, so this would be pretty good. And you'll see these option premiums are very, very reasonable. Very, very reasonable. So if I was gonna get into a bearish position, make sure we're in our puts, I would go ahead with the January 21st expiration, and I would go ahead with the $6.50 contract. So that's not too bad. And what I like about it is, you know, it has a really high open interest. It has a decent volume, you know, higher volume on the ask versus the bid, decent delta, very low theta, and good implied volatility. I'm really feeling this. Gamma's pretty high too. I love this. So yeah, the $6.50 put for ZNGA for January 21st. So that's something that you can do for that, okay? Okay, and next up is Rocket Companies, RKT, and right now it's trading at $15.08. Now, I'm pretty sure you can see I'm also going to be bearish on this, and it's really just off of the patterns. I love trading patterns. It's not a win all the time. Sometimes it's a hit or miss, but a majority of the time it's pretty spot on. A lot of times it's the timing. So for this one, I'm going to be bearish on this just because of the overall pattern. We've kind of had a little bit of a run up since it hit that low around the 20th. So I want to see, okay, is it going to continue in that downtrend? The MACD indicator, it's looking like it's kind of weakening a little bit with our histogram there, and we could possibly have a crossover with our short and our fast MACD lines here. Plus, it's trading below both of our 50 and 200-day moving averages. So long term, you know, it's just looking like it's continuing in that downtrend. Now, going into the rest of the week, as far as an entry position for this, if I was going to do something bearish, I would have my entry set around $14.95. And the reason, and that's even lower than the low of today, you know, a few more cents, maybe 10 cents, be a good indication that it's continuing in this downtrend. It's been oversold for a while, RSI wise, so just a good indication that it is slowing down on this uptrend. So let's see what happens with that. Going into the options, once again, this implied volatility is pretty decent, but our market maker move isn't projecting huge movements in price for this. Okay, so for Rocket, like I said, for this one, I'm going to be bearish too. It's going to be fairly similar to the last one. I'm going to pick a January 21st expiration date. I would just go ahead and keep it simple, and I'll pick the $15.50 option contract. And if you guys notice, like I said, the premiums on these are very, very decent. $83 for an at the money call. For an at the money put. That's not that bad. Volume and open interest is decent. Delta is beautiful. Theta is excellent. The gamma is all right. So I'm liking these numbers for this. And another thing I liked about this also is they have a pretty decent bid ask spread here. So it's not that bad. I like this position. So like I said, if I see it hit that entry target with a high volume and the other indicators look pretty good to me as far as the entry, then I would go ahead and get into that. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys were expecting this. It's the last week of the year. You know, I'm predictable. The last stock that we're going to talk about is Apple, okay? And this is setting up to be an even crazier saga than the ones that we've been in, because right now I'm looking at a breakout above these recent highs, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down that much. It had a little bit of a correction. Like I said, some people could be taking profits, you know, maybe liquidating some assets. Just crossed above the 50-day moving average again. Very much so bullish indication. And really, kind of like I said in our recap, we've hit this zone, and it's not an actual price. It doesn't always have to be a price for resistance, but we've hit this 180 to 182. This is our third time. We hit it twice before. Okay, like Ray J said, I hit it first. But we're in a different situation now because our MACD slope was, you know, it was a decline, but now we are on the incline. So I want to see what happens with Apple. If we continue with the strong volume going into the rest of the week, is it going to break above this 182 into 190, into 200? Apple can very easily reach $200 in the beginning of January. For Apple, I'm definitely going to be bullish going into next week. I mean, it's already hitting its marks. I say as far as an entry signal for a bullish position and it just continuing this strong upward momentum that it's been in, I'm gonna have my entry around 180.75 to 181. It's 180.33 right now. Apple's been making crazy moves every day, so really I can just say 181. Volatility is looking like it's going back to normal for Apple. 20 is looking pretty good, and the prices are looking good too. I don't know if you guys remember, but the last couple of times, you know, we were looking at $400 or $500 options for at the money. So now this is all just speculate, okay? I would do something pretty simple because this is a little little bit more expensive. I'll be okay with the January 14th, and make sure you change it to the calls. This isn't too bad. You can get this 182. They have very high volume, very high open interest, decent volume. The theta is a little bit high. It's not terrible. And this would be about $335. Now, it has very small bid ask spread. So that's one good positive thing about it. Just wait and see with that one. I really want to see how Apple performs the rest of the week. Make sure you guys check out this video on how to use the RSI indicator, things to look for, different settings and different trends, and just more information about the RSI. So make sure you check out this video right now. All right, click that, click that, click that.